I hope you're joining us. I don't know how many got the email, but if you are joining us live, we're excited. Text me and let me know so that I know that you're on and I can let everybody here know where you're joining us from. So we are excited to be doing our summer school program. Yay! Are y'all excited to be in summer school?
Yes.
Yay! Yay! So excited. And so I hope all of you took a look at the qualifications, what it's going to take for you to earn your class ring and to be invited to go to the senior sneak. And only those people who attend and do all 12 classes get to earn the
Senior sneak.
senior sneak and the class ring. So if you missed last week, you got the hangout from me. Did you get the? I'll send it to you. Will you text me and remind me?
Is it in the group?
I need to add you to my group. So send me if you did not get the link for the Google Hangout last week for the summer school.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you can get credit for being here and attending. Carol and Terry, give them a big hand. Yay! They were here.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy summer school last week?
It was really good. It really was.
Okay, so we are going to do a quick 2 or 3 minute recap of last week. So can each of you share just real quick your takeaways from summer school last week? And did either of you do your homework as far as what you wanted it to bring your family, summer school? Because summer school is all about learning how to be better at your skincare class and how to make that class bring you the things that you want for yourself or for your family. And Carol shared with us 2 items that she has purchased for her husband from her Mary Kay business. And so we talked about dreaming and thinking about what it is, what could you get excited about extra money bringing for you or for your family? Carol, what did it do for you personally, your Mary Kay business?
Well,
What did it pay for?
I got LASIK eye surgery. Mary Kay paid for that. And then for Gary, last summer I bought him a boat. And this summer I just bought him a brand new riding lawnmower.
So excited. He could, and talk about.
Oh yeah. And so he rides and then he goes, when he goes by the window, he's like he's, yeah.
So what we talked about was think about what her husband already loves Mary Kay. But think about every single time he gets on that riding lawnmower, what he thinks about. Yeah. He's thinking about how much he loves his woman.
Yep.
And how much he loves his new riding lawnmower that she purchased for him with her Mary Kay business. Right? That is huge. Huge. Terry, you shared a little bit. She said, I would.
I don't even remember what I said last week.
I think you said pay off some bills.
Yeah.
And maybe save it.
Right.
So, but I want you to really think about if you work your Mary Kay business, and we're going to talk about our 21-day revolution because this has really, it is doing some incredible things in our area and incredible things in Mary Kay and in national areas. And so I'm going to share some things that have been working for me, and that's why I had you bring your books. We're going to go back through, for anybody that is joining us, we're going to go back through exactly how to set that book up. And those of you who have been doing this, we're going to share with each other what's working, what you see could be working better, maybe some things that have not worked for you, and we're going to talk about maybe why that has happened, okay? So the other thing that we talked about was to be able to have contacts to call. I mean, to be able to even make phone calls, what do you have to have?
People.
Yeah, you got to have names, you got to have people to call, right? So we talked about ways that could happen. So Carol and Terry share. Let's just go through the list of ways that we talked about last week of how we could have names.
Work, church, warm chatter, your hairdresser, your bank teller,
okay,
wherever you go and you have somewhat of a relationship, You can ask them. I'm asking it was really good for me last night. Last week, it really broke it down to stuff that's just elementary to try. And so I have 5 ladies tomorrow coming just to pick up some product and to pay me. I had my little $1,000 day or whatever.
Little.
And
she sold over $1,500 on
but
open house.
so I have a few people, and even for me, I sent text messages out that when they come tomorrow, if they would just give me 15 minutes and watch a little video, just like Amy did, on the iPad, I will give them one item 50% off. And I have 2 ladies that said absolutely. The other people haven't responded. And then I have the one lady who really wants to do it, but her husband does not want her to do it. Last time she was there, she brought a friend, and it was spur of the moment. I didn't even know she was coming, and I wanted to just seriously and calmly, quietly ask her, what can I do to help her? Because I really think it's important to have the support of your husband.
Right.
I've done Mary Kay twice in my life, and the time before, I did not have that support, and it was hard. And it's just like one more obstacle. And so I want her, she said, well, maybe I'll just do it. I'll just secretly do it, and then I'll start paying part of the car note, because she just got a brand new Camaro, and she said, I'll just start paying part of the note and he won't know. But I don't feel comfortable with that. Although she would have signed up then, but I would love to have her husband on board. So I was just going to see if maybe there really was a time. I knew him when he was just in high school. His mom and I used to be friends. And then if he could come over and talk to Gary, or, talk to
Do you think Gary's going to be supportive? Mm-hmm. He already is, but do you think he might share what Carol has done?
Well, and if you do it the right way, like I've talked with you, I have never been upside down, and I don't buy anything unless I have the money to pay for it. Now, sometimes if I needed to hit a goal, I'll go ahead and order and not have it sold, but then I hurry up and try. It gets me motivated to sell.
It pushes you to sell.
Right.
Because you don't want to have that.
I don't have any bad experiences at all, and I don't know of anybody who has. I could see where you could get yourself into a predicament, but I haven't had that, and so I still love it, and it's been 7 years. So I'm hoping that I can talk to her.
So what has happened is he has gone on the internet and has looked. And that's true. Yeah, and so there is some definite negative things that could be out there that anybody could take as, oh my gosh, well that's how it is with Mary Kay, right? And it's a small percentage of women who didn't work the business correctly, who are blaming the company and Mary Kay for them getting themselves.
Well, and I think any company you could find, it's like taking Tylenol. It has all these bad side effects, but you're still going to take it. The odds are, so any company, I think you could find.
You could find fault with, but anybody could do that if they want to.
So I'm hoping that maybe he can sit with Gary, and that'd be pretty awesome if I.
So I'm super proud of Carol for doing that.
And
so give her a big hand.
Yay!
Awesome. And Terry also just shared with me she might have her first team member from doing her 21-day challenge as well. And so I just am super, super proud of you for taking this and doing this and working the system. Because when you work the system, it works. And so we're going to go over this. We're going to go over setup. But before, the reason I didn't go even into this last week was because, number one, you don't have names. You have nobody to call. Number two, if you have not set up a calendar and you do not have times that you're going to work your business, when you get on the phone, you are going to be lost because you don't have a plan. And Mary Kay says if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you have to have a plan of when you're going to work your business. And those of you who have children or families or are working another job or whatever it is that you have going on, maybe it's traveling on the weekend, going away for the week, whatever it is, you already know that you've got that going on. We talked about doing a calendar, not just for a month, but for several months. having at least minimum 3 months out planned, so that when you get on the phone, you know when you're going to work your Mary Kay business. So every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 o'clock, you are able to bring people. We've changed the format so that we can do training, and then what we do training on, we can incorporate into our skincare class so that you can see how to make it successful, how to make your parties be successful and what you want them to be. Amy, when you first started, where did you bring everybody?
Here.
You brought them to unit meeting. Number one, because she was scared, okay? Because she was very shy and it was hard for her. So she brought people here. Was that a smart thing to do? What happened when you did that?
That's how I learned.
Okay? Not did she just sit here, but she took notes, she videoed, she tape recorded everything, so that when she went home, she could listen as she was getting ready in the morning. And she would listen and over and over and over. I remember Carol, when her first year, she came in right before seminar. And when we were driving up to seminar, she was writing and taking notes. And we were going over her flip chart. And we were, do you remember?
I still have that flip chart.
We were going through her flip chart and she was practicing with me. And she was saying it and I'd say, well, you know, maybe you could say this, or maybe you could incorporate this, or maybe you could. And so she would take little notes and she'd stick it into her notebook. Still has that flip chart today, because with that flip chart that she practiced and said it over and over, and she would lay in bed at night and she would practice on Gary. Laying there in bed, she would say,
I would offer him a face.
That's right. She would practice the wording on her flip chart. But what did that do for her?
Well, it builds your confidence.
Build your
And
confidence.
then having the flip chart helped me to stay on track.
Because Carol likes to talk.
I do.
And she'll be the first one to tell you that she can get sidetracked very easily without something in front of her, right? And so I commend those of you who are making it a point to be here tonight. Do you know why? Because if you don't come to training and you don't come and learn and get education, how can you improve? How can you get better? How can you become more successful and learn and grow and expand, right? If you're not learning, you're staying in the same place or going backwards. Because those who are learning and progressing, they're going places, right? Because they chose to invest in themselves. You being here tonight is an investment in yourself to learn and to be educated and to grow. Okay, so calendar. And Carol printed off a calendar for us you did it for a year, didn't you?
I did it
For
for
6
6
months?
months.
So I encourage you to get at least 3 months planned. If you can then plan 6 months, I encourage you to plan 6 months. And then if you can plan out a year, I encourage you to plan out a year. Okay? Now, are some of those things going to change? Are we going to have to add things to that calendar as we go? Yes. Do you probably know your family vacation next year? Maybe. My husband has to bid his vacation a year ahead of time. Okay? I don't know how it is in your family, but do you know when your kids' birthdays are? You're probably going to take that day off, right? Okay? So you can put that on your calendar. If you're going on a family vacation, if there's an important event, or if there's something that's going on, kids' schedules for the next year. Is it on the website yet? Have you gone to look? So that you know yeah. You've got to know those things ahead of time. So seminar, leadership, career conference, I want you to mark on your calendar. Yvonne Lemon has invited Julianne to be her guest speaker at her retreat in October. And we are invited.
I was just writing that. Look what I was writing.
What is it?
What did you just say? Career conference, everything.
Uh-huh.
I'm working on my calendar.
Oh my gosh, good girl. I love that. So what that means to me is that, girl, you got it going on. Because you are planning planning out because you've got to. When you are purpose driven and purpose focused, and you are going places because you have a you know what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. But without that, when you get on the phone, guess what happens subconsciously? When you don't have your schedule planned, guess what happens subconsciously?
You kind of hope that they don't.
Yeah, you put it off, like, I don't know.
You put it off. You don't even, you don't get on the
I'll
phone,
get back to you.
or you'll get back to them, or if you do get on the phone, if you don't have it on your calendar, you're probably trying to do this. You're probably going, okay, let's see, when, and how long does it take to go through your calendar that's on here?
Forever. You might be in the wrong one. Like,
Yeah, forever, right? Do you look very, very professional? Do you sound very professional?
Actually, I went over at work. There was a financial guy helping with the whole transfer of our 401k. And he was doing the calendar on his phone. And I almost told him, it's like, you'd be better off. You're only scheduling.
I could teach you.
Yeah, you're only scheduling for today, and they're coming up and scheduling you. You'd be better off with a piece of paper because it's taking you forever to put their names in there, their phone numbers, and what time it is.
And then what you can do is you can take this calendar after you've made your phone calls every day and transfer it to your phone. That way you don't miss an appointment, because believe me, I have done that before.
Yes.
Okay, it's pretty embarrassing. When somebody shows it at your door and you're in shorts because you've been mowing the lawn. Okay, I'm telling you, so get a system in order. Have your month, have your calendar, and I have mine sideways in my book because I do not like turning my book. That's just me. That's just how I am. I just don't like it. So I have my calendar and then I fold it in half in my book because I just like to be able to look at my book like this. If you're not anal that way like I am, that's okay. And that's totally okay. But, and you want to turn your book, great. But if you don't, it's okay to punch it sideways. That's right, by golly.
Knock all the pages even.
That's right. So
It
Carol,
depends on which anal way you're looking
that's
at
right.
it.
Carol likes it and so however you like, guess what? It doesn't matter. Does it matter that I don't like to turn my book and she does? No, we're both going to get it done. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you do it. Okay? So you got to have your names. Amy and Deb, share with us just a little bit of what you've been doing to get some new names. Deb, you've run out of names. Amy, you've run out of names. Share with us just a couple of ideas and things that you've been doing to get some names. So as a brand new consultant, if you're brand new, we talked about going through your phone. Okay, how many of us have a bunch of people in here that we haven't even contacted for a facial?
I'm still there too. Yeah, I have a couple of people, like even on Facebook and stuff. It's like friends that I don't even talk to. I feel when I'm gonna approach them, about, and I haven't even talked to them at all. That's what makes me feel uncomfortable.
Guess what? If you don't approach them, somebody else is gonna. How would you feel if you went and finally did approach them, and they were recruited by somebody else that talked to them?
Just 2 days earlier.
Yeah, and the 10 people, I just messaged 10 people today on Facebook, and one of my friends, I haven't talked to her, actually would love to visit with her. She's like, oh, I need a facial. I said, oh.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Isn't that
1 out of
terrible?
10, hopefully, yeah.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, somebody else is gonna. Carol will tell you. She had a friend that she worked with that she just didn't think maybe.
And she was my customer. And next thing I know, she left K Park and went somewhere else. Next thing I know, she's sending me a thing. Oh, I signed up for Mary Kay. I'm so excited. Will you tell me? She asked me because she signed up through a friend who's like in another state. And so she wanted to come to our meetings and she wanted to ask me some things. I was like, man.
Didn't share the opportunity with her. Okay? So how does that make you feel? At least share it. At least, so that's why we say work full circle. Facial, Book, coach, sell, recruit. Book, coach, sell, recruit. Okay? Full circle, every appointment. Okay, so we've got our names, we've got our calendar, and now we've got to have our book together, because in our book has everything that you could possibly need or want for your 21-day challenge. So let's go through quickly in case there's people that are joining us that do not have their book put together. So Stephanie, maybe if you would do me a favor and hold this up just right in front of the
Smile banner.
yeah, and file. First of all, let's go through what it is, and then I'm gonna have you hold it up for me. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is share.
JulianneNSD.com. Go to
So if you do not have your book, which all of you do, I'm so proud of you, great job. Go to JulianneNSD.com. That is Julianne's website, and on her website there are on the right-hand side under training, under Julianne's favorite things, the red tiles, the top left-hand tile says 21-day challenge. And then there's a list of things, step 1, step 2, step 3, things to do to get your book ready and put together so that you can start making your phone calls, okay? So dividers, it doesn't talk about the dividers on there. It shows a picture. What I have done is I've done dividers 1 through 10. And then I did dividers 1 through 12, or you could do dividers January through December, okay? Those are going to come into play. We're going to talk about that here in a second, okay? The next thing that you need are highlighters, and we use pink, green, yellow, blue,
An orange.
and orange, okay? And also a black Sharpie,
yes,
for the people that you break up with. Yeah. Okay? So that you know that they are gone, right? And then you print off your scripts, and that is under the red bold that says click these words. Print off a calendar that we talked about, and then watch Kendall Parker's video. Now, Kendall Parker, her video, the way that she does it is a little bit different than I do. I'm going to share with you how I do it. If you want to do it some way different, I'm just telling you how I do it, how I have found that works best for me. If you choose to do it a different way, that's perfectly fine. Kendall does it a different way. So when you watch the video, or if you watch the video, please feel free to do it how it makes sense in your brain. Because if it makes sense to you, what are you going to do? You're going to do it. You've got to be, just like we talked about last week, hostess plan. We talked about, if you do not love your hostess plan, are you going to sell it? You have got to love it. You've got to be excited about it. It's got to motivate you. That if you were booking with you, you would go, yeah, totally, absolutely all over it. Okay? For me, it has got to be simple. It has got to be like no brain power, or I won't do it. Okay? So Stephanie has an amazing hostess program, but she's got a lot of papers. I'm not a paper girl.
My hostess for what?
Your hostess plan, right? They just have to mark the things that they want, right?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
So she loves it, works for her, and it's awesome. I love it too, but for me, it's one more sheet of paper. So, but it works for her. She loves it. And do you know why it works for her?
Because she loves it.
Because she loves it. So she can share her hostess program. So, because what I do may not appeal to you. Hers may totally go, yeah, absolutely. You may be a paper girl. You may need something that you could show. Do you see what I'm saying? One way is not the right way. You have to figure out what works for you, what gets you excited, what makes you go, yes, I love that. Carol has the best jewelry parties ever. Why do you have the best jewelry parties ever? I want you to share, because when I think about the hostess program, I think about Carol, and I think about her jewelry parties. How many people do you get to your jewelry party?
I usually get about 20, 21 people there.
Always. I mean, I've been to Carol's jewelry parties, and there is a slew of people. She is an amazing hostess. Why?
Well, I tell them just come. I don't care if you buy a thing, but I get $25 if I can get at least 10 people there. So
Okay.
will you just come? I don't care if you get anything. Just come, let's visit, have an ice cold beverage.
No headache, just come. You're
Yeah.
helping me out.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
getting
don't care,
something
and it won't hurt
free.
my feelings, just come.
Doesn't
I don't
hurt
care.
my feelings if you don't come.
No.
But if you come, just you being there helps me get some free product.
Yeah,
And they're like, they like Carol. And you know, you want a hostess who has people who like her. Because if you have a hostess who people don't like her and they don't come, do you really want to recruit that hostess? No. Who do you want to recruit? The hostess that gets 25 people to come because she's excited and she can get them there, right? So you have got to find a hostess program that works for you, that you love. Okay, so let's talk about your book. Find a 3-ring binder. On the front of the 3-ring binder is the 21 Club, okay? The 21 Club has all the qualifications that it takes to be a member, an elite member of the 21 Club. And I promise you, Julianne at Seminar is going to have something really special for those who are members of the 21 Club. So you do not want to miss that. So this is a great thing to put in the front of your book because people might ask you about it. What's the 21 Club? And then you can tell them. For me to be an elite member of the 21 Club, I have to meet these qualifications. If you host a party for me, you can help me out. Would you be willing to do that? Absolutely a way for you to have conversation. Because I take this with me everywhere. I don't know about you guys, but the other day Lexi had cello lessons at the school, and I sat in the car and I made phone calls. Terry, when she comes to meetings, she usually comes early and sits out in the car for 45 minutes before she comes into meeting, and she makes her phone calls. I love that. I think that is amazing, to utilize whatever time that you have to make your phone calls. Because when you do that, Terry, are you seeing some success?
I'm having an appointment.
Yay! She is having appointments. She is having success because she is doing what we talked about. Okay, so let's talk about putting the book together. What is the first thing that you need to do? Okay, so you've got your book. We've got our calendar. We've got our names. Okay, so under page, there's you've got your first 10 tabs, and I have marked my tabs. Okay, so the first 1, 2, 3, and 4. Page 1 is going to be your first set of 10 names. Okay, and so I'm just going to show you from May. Okay, so this was my first set of 10 names. If you are only going to make 5 phone calls, do 5 names. If you're going to make 20 phone calls, put 20 names. Whatever it is that you're going to commit to and do it. Okay, then under the second tab, so under the first tab is going to be my first set of 10 names. Under the second tab is going to be my second set of 10 names. And under the third tab is going to be my third set of 10 names. Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, since I'm doing appointments, I'm
Yep.
getting names. That's another avenue.
Okay.
And so do you transfer from?
I would
there?
not.
So you just keep.
I would put them right on
Put
there,
them
and I
under
would
that
put it in one of
day.
the tabs.
Okay.
And so you could add that
Punch
to,
it and then
yes.
be done.
Because what happens is, as you go through and on each of these sheets, and so when you print these off, you will see that on the sheets is a place for
Name,
the name,
how we met,
and then
contact,
their phone number. Then it says
day 1,
day 1,
Day 2?
day
4,
4,
Oh, day 4.
day 7,
day 7,
day 11.
and day 11. So what happens is in tab 1, your first set of names, you're going to make your phone calls to. And so what I do is in day 1, I put up at the very top the date. So yesterday I made my 10 phone calls, and what was the date yesterday? The 13th. So I put 6/13 at the top of my sheet. Okay? So if it's highlighted in yellow, it means that I called and texted. Now,
But no answer.
but no answer. Now I want to share with you. Deb, you have tried just texting. What have your results been?
No good.
Not great. Okay? Has anybody else tried just texting? Okay. I'm going to share with you that I think it's crucial that you call and text. I think your results are huge because number one, they get to hear your voice. Do you think that you can determine if you like a person by their voice? Mm-hmm. I think so. And when you send a text message, you let them know, hey, I left you a voicemail. I left you a voice message. I just wanted to make sure that you got it. About the Ultimate facial package and gift card. Call me back as soon as possible. I'll fill you in on the details. So, okay, they didn't get the details. How many of us, it just kills us when we don't know it all?
Yeah.
How many of us, we want to know what that person has to offer. They didn't tell me everything that they had to offer. I have to call back to find that out. How many of us are going to call back so we can find out what she's offering? I'm that way. I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is if there's a blue dot, that means that they got back to me. They texted me back. Like I had one who said, hey, I'm at work. I can't talk right now. And then I had another one that said, that texted back and said, hey, my daughter's not here for the summer. She's working. I'll call you tomorrow. Okay. So that is if they got back to you, the blue dot. The orange is if I contacted them or if I talked to them personally. So I don't necessarily like it when there's orange lines because then I talk to them. And then I usually talk longer, and it usually takes me longer to make my phone calls. And I don't want it to take me a long time to make my phone calls. I want to get through them quickly. So I actually prefer it when they don't answer the phone. And, you know, that's kind of crazy because normally when we make a phone call to somebody, we want them to answer, right? So that we can get them booked and talk to them and get them on the books. But, you know, it's such a great system. All you do is you plug your names into this system. So under the first column, which is the first attempt, so if you, and so that's, and then the second one is my second set of names under day 1. So today is the 14th. So it will be 6/14. So you can see I have yet to make my phone calls. So as soon as y'all are done tonight, guess what I'll be doing? I'll be making phone calls, okay? So, because I didn't get it done this morning. I went and I worked out a little bit late this morning, later than I normally do, and so I got kind of a late start. And so Lexi today, you know, they know Tuesdays are my busy day and it's work day, but she's like, Mom, will you sit with me? And so she's so funny. She likes to waller me. And so normally she sits on what? Waller me. So usually it's like, I sit on the couch, she sits on my lap, she's 12 years old, still loves to sit on my lap, still loves for me to cuddle her, wants me to, but it's more than that. It's, Mom, will you tickle me? Will you rub my shoulders? So today, I went and sat on her lap and I said, oh, Lexi, I said, will you tickle my arm? Will you rub? So it was very fun. But you know what? Was that important for me to do that?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah,
because
so
before
important.
you know it, she won't live here anymore.
That's right. They do. They grow up
I'm just saying.
they grow up quickly. But what I want you to know is that I don't work my own business. Guess what? It's okay for me to take an hour and to go sit with my daughter and to hold her.
Yeah.
Because do you think she's going to remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a rough morning because
Hi, Amy.
she had to do work this morning and she didn't like it. But you know what? It's my duty as her
She
mom
had to leave at 6:30.
to teach her. She's going to do stuff with her
It's
kids.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where she needs to be. So, it's important for me as a mom to teach my child how to work.
Yeah.
And so, and she's kind of gotten a little, you know, So I just need to teach her that. And so we kind of had a little bit of a rough morning. And so it was so even extra important that I sat with her today.
Yeah.
And that just held her and loved on her and played with her, and we had fun together. And you know, how great is it that I work from home and now we have this great business that we can do that, right? You can take off and fly and go see your son. That, you know, Carol, you can take off and be with Mitchell when you need to be, and that you get to go see him, right? And how great that you can do that, right? Because those are important. You know, your son just graduated.
Yeah.
And so, you know, taking off and having time and not having to ask a boss to be able to do that is such a great thing. Okay, so the third column or the third tab is your third sheet or list of 10 names, okay? And those under your the first column, it's the first contact that you have with those people. Now, I will tell you, some of them, it's my second contact because they're people that called me back in June that I brought back under my June calendar, because January through December is when you make phone calls. I had 2 yesterday on my list that said, hey, I'm super busy. Can you call me back in July? So guess what I did with them? I went under July and I put their names. And then I went back and I crossed them off. I didn't divorce them, or we didn't break up. I didn't divorce them.
No,
We didn't break up, but I moved them. And so for me, I need to know when the black, it's either they broke up or I make a note if I moved them. So I know whether it was that they didn't want anything to do with Mary Kay or that I just put them someplace else, because I don't want to miss one person.
Right.
I don't want to lose one person. So each person has to go somewhere. And so on this sheet are people that told me to call me back in June that I'm contacting. It's now June, right? I'm contacting in June. Okay, so then the next day, same thing. Now, on tab 4 is where I keep my calendar and my scripts. Okay? My calendar and my scripts. So I have my calendar and it sits right in front of my scripts. Now the scripts are for different things. Seasoned consultant. I'm a seasoned consultant. That means that you are not a brand new consultant. Mm-hmm. Or people that you met warm chattering. Or people that you got referrals.
Those are from the web. That's from her website.
Yes.
All these, yeah. Because I have a different one, but I think that.
I think you will like this one.
I think I'll like
Amy and I talked about that one, and I will tell you, I've seen that one, and it's okay, but I much prefer this one.
I always have to kind of alter it because
I have altered this.
Different ways.
I have altered this one a little bit, and I'll explain that in just a second. This one's for a new consultant. This one is cold leads. What is a cold lead as opposed to a warm chatter?
Referrals? No.
A warm chatter is somebody that you just recently met,
okay.
out somewhere. A cold lead is maybe you met somebody a year ago and you lost their name and you found it. That's a cold lead. Okay. Okay. So, so I have my little script in here, and right in front of it is my calendar. So what I do is I don't want to be flipping back and forth, and so I go to my list that I'm going to make phone calls with. I take it out, and I move it right next to my script.
Since I have mine, since I'm a seasoned consultant, are these the ones you're talking about for Deb, and she could just bring them back, but she would use them? Are these the ones, they were in front of the one that was a seasoned consultant, that she could take them?
Yeah, she could take, yeah.
You wanna just take and you can copy that? I'm sorry, I folded
Is
it.
this from the website? This is what's from the website?
Rhonda gave these to me, cause like I'm over here, these are mine over here, and then you can just bring them back.
So those ones are, if you want to go to Julianne's website and print them off, you can. They are colored, on the website, so if you
And
want to
those are
print
the
them off.
correct ones you want me to give to her,
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Well,
So
I
let me just, for a seasoned consultant, let's go through day one. So the first thing is, if I was calling Carol and she was on my list, I would say, hey, Carol, this is Rhonda. I have some exciting new goals in my Mary Kay business, and I have selected 10 deserving women to receive the ultimate facial package and a $20 gift card. So that's one thing I changed. So instead of a $25 gift card, I changed it to a $20 gift card. And I have selected you. Call me back as soon as possible, and I'll fill you in on all the details. If I don't hear from you, I'll call you back in a few days. So instead of 3 days, I say a few days. And the reason that I do that is because I don't work on Sunday.
Right, it may be a weekend.
Okay? So if a Sunday comes and that's the third day, I don't want them to think that I just didn't call them. So I say a few days. A few days could be 2 days, or it could be 3 days, or it could be 4. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It could be a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So then immediately, now Terry, she waits to text all of them at the same time. I do not. So as soon as I've called her, I go back and I go under my contact list. So I have made that phone call. I go back under recent, I find her name, I go to information, I click the little text box, and I send her a text message. Now, the text message says, hey, Carol, I left you a voicemail earlier today. I just wanted to make sure that you received it. You were on the top of my list for a free pampering session and gift card. If I don't hear back from you, I'll follow up in a few days. So that way she knows if she doesn't listen to her voicemail, because there's a lot of people that don't listen to their voicemail.
I don't.
She now has a text message.
Well, Rhonda doesn't. Don't let her fool you.
So I like voicemail.
So we now have a text message that says facial pampering session and gift card. Well, do you think if they have a gift card to spend, they're going to go back and listen to their voicemail?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or they're going to respond.
And just make sure that you either say, hey, girl, or you remember to change the name.
Yes.
Because you hate
I
to
did
get
that
that
like
line.
3
Say,
times.
hey, Stephanie, good to hear from you.
Right.
Oh my
Exactly. Good
I've done
point, Carol.
that too.
So I will tell you what I do is I will copy, and then when I go to the next person, I just paste it. And that's exactly, so you need to either change the name, make sure it's personalized, that you put their name in, or you just say, hey, I just wanted to let you know.
Mhm.
So
That way you can just pop them out really quick.
yeah, it can be super fast, super quick. And I'm telling you, you can go through the list of 5 names or 10 names. How long does it take you to make your calls?
Probably 15, 20 minutes. It's pretty quick.
It's
If
pretty-
they don't answer.
If they don't answer,
don't
it's
answer.
really fast.
Yeah.
And you know, we talked last week about the things that we love about this are, you don't feel guilty. How many times in your Mary Kay business do you feel guilty when you're with your kids doing stuff because you're like, oh crud, I really should be making phone calls. Oh crud, I should really be doing, you know, you feel, then when you're doing your Mary Kay business, you're like, oh my gosh, I work my Mary Kay business. I should be spending more time with. We guilt ourselves so bad. And what's so great about this is you have your calendar done. And you know what? That calendar is your calendar. If you want to hold an appointment 1 time a week, hold an appointment 1 time a week. If you want to hold an appointment 5 days a week, you hold an appointment 5 days a week. Whatever it is that you want that matches and meets your Mary Kay goals is what you want to do. Does that make sense? So your calendar, when you schedule your calendar, that is a reflection that should match your Mary Kay goals. Okay? And so then your sheets. So day 1 is day 1, script 1 for day 1. Then it has day 4. So after, okay, so under tab 1 is my first set of 10 names. Okay? Tab 2 is my second set of 10 names. Tab 3 is my third set of 10 names. So then after I go and I finished with my tab 3, 10 names, I go back now to tab 1 and I'm on the second column, which is now day 4 for my first 10 names. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
So,
Okay, so now when you go to the script and you make your phone call, your second phone call to your first set of 10 names, you now go to your second script that says day 4, and you say, hey, Terry, this is Rhonda with Mary Kay again. I just wanted to follow up with you regarding your Ultimate Facial Package. I have an awesome gift and free product waiting for you. Please contact me when you can. I know you're super busy, and I will follow up in a couple of days if I don't hear from you. You then follow her up with a text message that says, hey, Terry, it's Rhonda with Mary Kay, just checking back. I left you another quick voicemail. I didn't hear back from you and wanted to make sure that you listened to it so you didn't miss out on your free facial package and gift card. I can't wait to fill you in on all the details. Okay? So then, after you've gone through your second set of 10 names and your third set of 10 names, then you're going to go back to your first set of 10 names, and you're now on your third column, right? It is now how many contacts after you finish the third voicemail and third text message to your first set of 10 names, you have now contacted that same person 6 times. And if you remember the statistics, it's not until they've been contacted 6, 7, or 8 times that the percentage goes up to 80% of your sales comes after they've been contacted 6 to 8 times.
Or they'll give you an answer because
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah,
Right.
they're like, oh, I should never, yeah.
One way or another, they're going to do something.
Absolutely,
If they
right.
do not
An
want
action
their,
is required.
absolutely. So you do not take them off of your list until they say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. You put them somewhere until they tell you no. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that help you? Does anybody have any questions? Tell me some of the things that you're experiencing from this, or have experienced, or that you like, or that you're excited about, or that, you know.
So, okay, do a role play where so somebody answers the phone.
Okay, so you're gonna do if you look at the bottom of it, it says,
Okay.
great, she answered.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't
so
have that
you
one.
are going to, it's at the bottom. So if you print this off, so on
I'm
your,
gonna go and print all those off. Yeah.
Well, I don't have that.
I don't have that either.
Great,
I have
she
something
answered.
different.
okay, so I would recommend to go on and get these scripts,
Yeah,
Carol.
I'm gonna go. I have
I will tell you, Julianne, the scripts, she did not have, the scripts were not on her website at the very beginning.
Okay.
So go on there and
Okay.
go under.
But this is the script you want me to use as a seasoned consultant. The only thing I'm missing is
The
she
bottom
answers
one,
the
yeah.
phone.
The only thing that it says is she answered the phone,
Okay.
and you say, oh, you just
Hey,
say,
yeah, hey.
hey, Carol, I'm so glad that I reached you. And then you go right into the script.
Okay.
That is the only thing that is different is, oh, I'm so glad I reached you.
Right.
And then you go right into the
No, I
script.
left you a text.
that is on-
That's
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
what I get nervous about, and they answer you're like,
But you know what? Like Carol did with her flip chart, she practiced over and over and over and over. And so I would recommend practice these scripts over and over and over and over and over and over and over until you're bored with this script. Because what happens when you do that?
Well, it becomes part of your vocabulary.
Right.
I mean, then it's you. It becomes part of
That's why I can stand up here and tell you, because I've done this. I've made the phone calls. I've made the booking calls. I've talked to people. I have done the 21-day revolution more than once. I'm in my second set of 21 days right now. And so because of that, the scripting just becomes part of your vocabulary, like Carol talked about, because you do it over and over and over and over. And so if you are nervous about it, and if it scares you, and if it's a little bit harder for you, then you want to practice and until you become comfortable. That way, when you get on the phone, you're
yeah, I think
you're
that's
not
why I was
worried.
hiding behind text. I was just like,
It is easy
take
though.
off,
I'm
texting
the
back
queen
away.
of texting because despite the fact
It
I
didn't
talk
work
all the
for me,
time,
though.
sometimes I get very nervous.
Right. And I know, and Carol really does like to text, and I know that your first set that you did a lot of texting, and I just want to share with you guys that I truly believe in the call followed up with a text.
Well, and you feel more in line with the person. Like if I text you that I'm having a jewelry party, but if I called you, said, hey, Deb, come on
It's a little
over.
bit more
It's gonna be a
personal.
ton of fun. It is. There's a connection. It is more personal.
Yeah.
A text is kind of a little bit distant.
Yeah.
Well, it's not rude.
Well,
just-
it's easier to say
distant.
no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's much
But if
easier
you
to
call
say
them
no.
on the phone, they can hear your sincerity that, look, I don't care if you get a thing. Just come on over. I'd love to see you. It's been an ages since I've talked to you. Just come on. You don't have to buy a thing, and we'll just have a good time.
Right.
And then they feel that connection.
They do. And you get them excited. So if you are not a person that has that natural excitement in your voice, smile when you get on the phone because there's a difference. Think about when you read your kid a storybook. You don't sit there and say, and the cat ran over the spoon. The mouse ran up the clock. You go, and the mouse ran up the clock. And you inflect your voice and you get excited, right? It's no different when you're on the phone and you talk to somebody. If I stood up here and I was monotone and I didn't act excited or be excited, you all would be totally, you would be like, is it time to go yet? Right? Yeah. And so I just think about reading a story to your kids or to your grandkids and using that mom voice of getting them excited and getting them into the story. You know, what's going to happen on the next page, right? Do that. It does make a huge difference. Okay, so I want Terry to just share because she has been, I didn't ask for this, but in the back of your booking scripts, okay, if you turn to the back part, well, it actually was in the front part, but I moved it to the back. So when you get the booking, okay, first of all, before I go there, I need for you to take a picture of your sheet after you make your phone call and send it to your director, okay? Just so that I know what you did. It doesn't matter whether you made 5 phone calls, it doesn't matter whether you made 10. It doesn't matter whether you got through it doesn't matter. Just take a picture. This is your tracking sheet for your 21 days. So that you can, at the end of the week, tally up what you have done so that you can look back and go, wow, okay, this is what I've done. So at the very beginning of my book is mine, okay? So for May, I was able to, I didn't do this in May, so I went back and I tried to tally it, and you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there was like 8 days. I had a really hard time trying to go back and figure out what my totals were. But if you have this at the beginning of your book, this is what I have right here. So if you have this at the beginning of your book, and you can go back after each day, and you can write in your totals, do you think that you're going to be able to see what your averages are? Okay, so if you do not have this sheet, I have some printed off. You can take one, and you can make copies. And so what you do is you just put your name and your month, and then the day that you're going to start your phone calls, whatever the date is. So up at the very top of day 1, so whenever you started your 21-day revolution, you put that date, okay? And the C stands for, look down at the very bottom, how many contacts. So if you made 5 contacts, you're going to write down, I made 5 contacts. So that is, it doesn't mean that you talk to them. That's how many phone calls and text messages that you made, okay? So you made 10. My goal is to do 10 a day. So I would put number 10 in there.
Okay.
Not 20, because you contacted them twice. But how many people did you contact?
Initially.
Yeah, and then, So I would put in there, I contacted 10 people. The next thing is a B for bookings. Did any of them book from your phone calls? Okay, The next thing is were you able to interview anybody or set anybody up or book them for an interview? The S is for sales. Now today you can see sitting on my chair, I've got over $200 worth of product right there because I was making phone calls. Okay, it's amazing. Oh, how people are, I need some product. Okay, so it's just contact. You will be amazed what will happen in your business as you do this. I need to keep on track, so it's about ready to stop. So, so then the S is for sales. The CBL is call back later. How many of them told you call me back later? Call me back in July. So I had people who call me back in July. So, and then the TOL is take me off your list. That's the breakup. That's the black line. And you know what? How great it is when you can actually put that black line and you have that relief of that name is now going in the trash, and I no longer have to worry about it. How great is that? You don't have to think, oh, where's that name that I lost?
I know.
It now goes somewhere.
That's like reading like pieces of paper and just like.
You should no longer have pieces of paper because they're going to go somewhere. So what I didn't show you was under tab 5, remember when I talked to you and told you that you need to get to 150 names as soon as possible?
Mm-hmm.
So of course that fabulous game, those are fresh leads. So I would try to get them in add them to your 10 list. But what happens is that 10 names, pretty soon you've moved 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of those people someplace else. And so you need to add people to that. So you might start adding the names from your fabulous or from your contact sheet, add to get your names up to 10.
Okay, so you told me to keep this on the
I
sheet
do.
and not transfer it.
Yeah.
So where do you notate day 1, contact 1, and day 2, or the day 3 or whatever?
So you can make columns right here.
Notes.
And if you'll notice, you don't go to that 4th column.
Right, you
You just do the 3. So you really only need 3 columns, and you could absolutely make them right here. Okay? Very easily. Does anybody have any questions? Do you know how to use this and what to do with this book? Okay, we've gone over this twice now. Next week, we're going to go into details of coaching and some other really fun things. The proof is in the pudding. When I told you that, the proof is in the pudding. If I put a pudding mix in my mixer and I did not follow the directions, would I have pudding? If I didn't use milk and I used lemonade, or if I used apple juice, or would I have pudding? No. Same thing. If you don't utilize what this system and how the system is designed to work, you are not going to have the results that you can have, because this booking revolution is changing people's businesses and people's lives and families' lives because of what it's doing for people's business. I've never had more things on my books at one time than I do from doing this. And I also am able to contact people that have scared me to contact. People that have been in my phone that I just haven't contacted, that kind of intimidated me. Even, yes, I've been in Mary Kay 20 years, and I've done this business a long time, and yes, there are still people that intimidate me. And you know what? There are probably still people that intimidate you too, but you know, when you put them on this system, it's just a system. And you just put them in, plug them in, and you just do it. Yes.
Question. Okay, so what do I do with all the May people that I didn't get?
Did you contact them the 3 times?
Mhm.
Okay, and you never heard back from them.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're gonna move
And I
that.
did a combination of email, text, call,
3
text,
months away.
call, voicemail.
You move them 3 months away, right?
So they're gonna go to,
June,
So,
July, August.
2 months. So you're gonna go. So you're in June. So you're gonna.
so
go
they were
June,
May.
July, August. So you're gonna put them in September.
Okay.
So in September
You
you
said
will
a few
go.
months.
So you
Okay.
will, in September, you will go back through and contact them.
Okay.
You're gonna keep them and you're gonna continue to contact them until you hear no.
No. Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
Okay. All right.
That's a lot of lists right
So,
there.
anybody have any sales last week?
I probably did, but I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, well, Carol and Terry both were at our summer school last week, so give them a big hand. I'm so excited for them. In October, Yvonne Lemon has invited us to be at her retreat.
And where is that?
That's going to be in Galveston.
Oh,
She is
fantastic.
here in Texas. She has asked Julianne to be her guest speaker, and so that means that she's
When is
invited
it?
our area. It will be in October. I'm not sure. I think it's the first weekend in October. I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And so I will give you details as they come, but I want you to mark off that
Sure.
weekend and plan that weekend. We will have a great girls weekend. I mean, and what a
I already
Yeah,
Yvonne,
girls,
absolutely, absolutely, yes,
Yes.
Yvonne Lemon is amazing. I think she is spunky and full of energy and life, and she is awesome. I'm so excited that we get to be a part of some of the national directors and people that are here in
Did
Houston.
she talk in leadership?
She wasn't one of the nationals, but yes, she did speak at the directors, our director meeting.
Oh, see, she's in Emerald. She was in Emerald.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if she stayed in Emerald.
She is little
She
and
is
she is
spunky.
spunky
Yeah.
and she is just, she will just tell you how it is.
Very
Is
just
she
fantastic.
redhead? Does she have like curly hair?
Real, yeah,
Glasses?
short,
That was her.
yeah, super
Yeah.
judge
Yeah.
lover.
She's
So
a
I'm
fire.
she is
She's amazing.
ball of fire. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited that we
She
get to
taught right before
participate.
Julianne did.
Yeah.
In our new class.
Oh,
Were
she
you in
did.
the
Okay.
class?
No,
I was in. Yeah.
Okay, so we are blessed to be able to have that.
She's
Also, Julianne has talked to Robert about coming back to Houston, and I think we're gonna probably try to do a Robert event prior to going to and do another workshop with
So September.
Glamour. No, it'll be the day before we go to
Got it.
retreat.
Got it.
So that we can, because Julianne, when she comes, she wants to be able to work and do it all at the same time. And so she'll probably fly into Dallas. Robert will probably drive her down for the weekend. And so we'll probably do his event, I'm guessing, on Thursday.
Right.
Before the retreat. Okay, so plan that. Put that in your calendars. That will be an
But we don't
awesome.
know the weekend yet. Did you say the
The
weekend?
first weekend, I think it's the first weekend in October. I think it's the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of October. Is that like the 6th, 7th, and 8th or something like that? Let me look really quick. 7th,
Yeah.
8th, and 9th. So mark that down.
7th.
And so this right here is what I need from you each week, okay? This is how I'm gonna give you recognition here at meeting. And there might be some surprise, fun things as I get these. And so you do not wanna miss turning this in because there might be special prizes awarded to those who have turned theirs in for the week. So what I want you to do is every day, put down your results. I want you to take a picture and I want you to send it to me at the end of the week. I want your call list. This is what I want a picture of every day. Just send me a picture after you did your calls. And at the bottom, so on the bottom where it says the first day, you put, I made 10 contacts, I got 10 bookings, whatever it is that you put in here, okay? And so if you want to just put it on this sheet and put the date and do this and take a picture of them together like this, that would be great.
Do we have to sum it up on that sheet if we do this?
No,
Okay.
so that's why I say, if you lay them together and put your summary on this sheet with the date, I'll know,
Okay.
okay? So that way you can take a picture of those two laying together like that, and I'll have it each day. And then I need your total for the week, okay? All right, I'm so proud of each of you. I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait for our senior sneak. It's gonna be a blast, I promise. Yes,
Did
I
you get in
promise.
touch with Dawn? Dawn was gonna try to do the.
I'm hoping that she will be
Okay.
on there. She did not text me, so those of you who, if you participated on Google Hangout, please text me and let me know. But we are so excited that you can join us and participate via Google Hangout.